Hi everyone, it's Anthony and good morning. Got up extra early so I could do a get ready with me video. I posted my unready version yesterday, so take a look at that if you haven't. This is going to be kind of a quick video or quicker than that one because a lot of these are the same products that I use in my nighttime routine, but I thought I'd just go through what I do on a morning routine just so you can kind of see some of the subtle differences, and there's a couple different products that are in this routine as well. So we're gonna start right in with the Crave Beauty Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser. So I use this morning and night now. I'll briefly go over because I went in some more detail in the unready video from yesterday, but this is just a super mild, gentle jelly style cleanser that has just a little bit of foaming action to it. I've only been using it for a few days, but I find it to be super gentle and leaves a bit of hydration behind as well. And there isn't any added fragrance or essential oils here, so the scent is a little different, but it's starting to grow on me. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually do this step in the shower. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then when I come back, we'll move through the rest of the routine. So we'll see you in a bit. Bye. All right, back after hopping in the shower, using that Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser from Crave Beauty, getting all dressed. So now we're gonna move right into the next steps in my morning routine. So I am going right in with the toner. This is the Then I Met You Birch Milk Refining Toner. I called it Birch Juice yesterday, but my bad. So I will just quickly go over my experience so far. I've been using the Then I Met You Hydrating Duo, the toner and the essence, for about 2 weeks now, and I really like them both. The toner is surprisingly gentle, considering it has lactic and glycolic acid in it, but it's only at a 1% concentration, so I think that's why. It's going to be a little bit more approachable for those with sensitive skin. It does a decent job of hydrating as well. It has like a faint acidic scent to it, very mild though. It reminds me a lot of some like Murad or Dermalogica products that I've used in the past that have AHAs in them. It just has this kind of classic kind of acidic scent. It's hard to exactly describe it, but if you've used a more kind of clinical chemical exfoliator, you'll probably be pretty familiar with this. So it's got squalane in it as well, which is a nice hydrator. And then we're moving right into the essence. This is the Then I Met You, the Giving Essence. This features chokeberry, red algae extract, and just is and some fermented ingredients. So it's intended to impart a lot of hydration to the skin as well as some brightening power. And the more I use it, you know, even though it's only been a day since my last video, I've used it a couple times since then. I really like it. I think I like it more than the toner. I'll have my final thoughts in a couple weeks, but it just has this really faint cranberry scent. It's very refreshing, and just my skin feels like as soon as I touch my hands that have been coated in it to my skin just kind of spreads it out and drinks it up really nicely. So it's just a really well-performing essence, and I have seen some brightening effect from it just in the couple weeks that I've been using it. So really like that one. I'm a big fan. That's that. And then I typically wouldn't do a sheet mask in the morning, but you know, up extra early, and then when I do need to go online at work, I'm working from home, as a lot of us are, so I kind of have some flexibility of what I can have on my face during the day since I'm not really seeing too many people. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. The one that I picked out is another one from Mediheal. I used a Mediheal mask in my unready video. This is their Air Packing Pink Wrap Mask. This is supposed to be firming, brightening, replenishing, and then it says self-warming, which I thought was really interesting, and it's apparently a 3-layered mask. So I was just reading this when I grabbed it out of the closet. It has collagen, ceramides, flower extracts of cherry, camellia, lotus, lily, and rose. It's supposed to hydrate the skin, soften the look of fine lines, firm the skin, brighten the skin, and then apparently it has a special layer in between that helps prevent the moisture from leaving the skin or, getting evaporated as you're wearing the mask. And then it says there's even mild heat generated from the mask that's supposed to open pores and help increase absorption of nourishing products. Pores don't really open, and even if they did, that's not where you necessarily absorb nutrients for your skin. It kind of goes in between the fatty lipid layer and dead skin layer, but your pores aren't kind of the doorways necessarily. It's kind of where your hair follicles live. So anyway, anytime I see that, I'm like, all right, but I'm gonna give this one a shot. I'm a little worried because typically when I do a video and do a sheet mask, I like to go for a sheet mask that I have used before and I'm totally confident in its ability to work, so I don't come back, after using this and peel it off and it's like some sort of crazy red bumpy mess. It hasn't really happened, but that's always some sort of weird fear of mine, is doing a video and then having something horrible happen. So, but I trust MetaHeal. I don't think I've ever used one of their products that I was like super bummed out about. I've been pretty happy with what I bought from them. So we're just gonna give this a shot. A warming mask. There's a lot of new stuff happening right now. So, so there's the mask. It's got the backing to it. And it's a two-parter. It's very interesting looking. So it says to place this mask with the matte pink side. So that's the matte side and that's the shiny side on your face. So that's the direction you want to put it. Has a very subtle clean scent, but not overpowering. It's almost kind of clean and powdery. Okay, and then they say to leave this on for 10 to 20 minutes. We're just gonna go as long as we can. And there's the top. All right, I'm getting a little bit better at that. I definitely needed to practice since taking a break from sheet masking for a couple months. Well, that's just gonna have to do that. I'm not gonna fiddle with it too much. Okay, so that's that. I'll be back in 10 to 20 minutes. This is so close, like a pink rip. Okay, all right, enough. We'll see ya. All right, so I've had this mask on for just about 20 minutes. It's still pretty damp everywhere, and I think that's because the foil layer and the protective layer that they have in this mask really doesn't allow a lot of air to contact the skin during this process. So I could probably go a little bit longer, but just for the sake of getting this off and moving on with my day, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I can say that initially I thought the warming sensation was supposed to be caused by the ingredients, but it's really just that foil layer keeping air from contacting the skin. It's not a very breathable mask. And also it's just the heat from your skin surface kind of warming the serum. So by the time you hit 20 minutes, the mask does feel a bit warm, but I think it's just, because it's collecting the heat from your skin. So not sure if that really did much. It was very, very mild. It wasn't like an intense warming feeling. It was very subtle. But the watery essence feels really nice and hydrating. Looking in the mirror, I don't see like a super intense glow or really any sort of like super brightening power. It is hydrating. That essence does absorb and dissipate rather quickly. It's not like something I'm gonna have to pat in for a long time. I mean, it's almost pretty much gone. So it's fine. It's a decently hydrating mask, but I'd have to use it maybe a couple more times to get some final thoughts, but first impressions are that it's just kind of a basic hydrating mask. I think a lot of the air packing, pink wrap, warming, triple layer is just a lot of marketing. I think I paid $5 for this at Walgreens, so I think part of that price has to do with the supposed claims, but not the actual realized benefits. So kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Moving on to the rest of my routine. The serum I'm going to use today is the Paula's Choice. I don't know if you got to see that. Paula's Choice Niacinamide 20% treatment. This has licorice root extract and some other soothing ingredients as well. I had been using the Ordinary's niacinamide 10%, and I really liked that product. But when this came out, I was like, well, you know, I didn't have any irritation with the 10%, any sort of negative reactions. In fact, my skin really liked that product. So I'll go ahead and bump it up to the higher percentage just to kind of experiment and see. I don't know how well it's doing just yet. I think I've been using it for just over a week now. I like it over the Ordinary product just with initial first uses because it does leave kind of a glow behind, and it's a little bit more of a, I mean, it's still watery, but in what it leaves behind is a little bit more rich and feels like slightly more nourishing to the skin. I haven't noticed any tingling or uncomfortable feeling from it, but I'm hoping it'll help reduce like hyperpigmentation and some dark spots around my neck and stuff too. So the products like this do take some time. I might even have to go longer than a month using it consistently before I actually can realize some, you know, some serious benefits from it. Over that sheet mask, it does feel a little tacky, but I mean, it hasn't felt like that previously, so I think that has something to do with the essence from that sheet mask. And as I get more comfortable with this product and just want to make sure that I'm not seeing any intense irritation, I'm going to move it earlier in my routine. I like to keep my actives like niacinamide, AHAs, BHAs, vitamin C, all that stuff, as early in my routine as I can, as long as my skin can handle it. So eventually I'm going to get that before my toner. So it'll be cleanse, then that treatment, the niacinamide, and then the rest of my routine. And then I'll probably wait a couple minutes after applying the niacinamide before moving on, just to make sure that whatever pH that is at is being able to do its job before I throw things off with another product. So that's that for the serum. We're going right into the moisturizer. I'm using the Oat So Simple Water Cream. I used this in my unready video. Same thoughts. I've only used it a couple more times since you watched that last video. It seems decently hydrating. It's very, very lightweight and comfortable. There's no real scent to it, and it has a nice cooling sensation once it's applied to the skin. So I've only used it a few days, but my initial impressions are positive. My thoughts might change. I've been removing the Great Barrier Relief from my morning routine and just using the niacinamide. I'm kind of curious to see if this is as nourishing or hydrating as it is in my nighttime routine, because it doesn't have the Great Barrier Relief to rely on, because that's the product that has all the oils and emollients, and this doesn't really have any of that. So we'll see if my skin starts to feel a little bit dry, or if I start seeing increased oil production or sebum production during the day. That tells me that my skin is usually dry or dehydrated. So that could be something that keeps me from really loving this product. But like I said, it's way too early to tell. But as it stands, I don't have any negative things to say about it. So that's that. And then the last step in my morning routine is going to be sunscreen. The way I'm working from home, but the way that we're set up is I have my little office set up in the dining room. And we have a window in the dining room that's eventually going to become a door. They're going to kind of remodel that area, so it's going to be kind of like an entryway for like a mother-in-law suite that they're going to put downstairs. So there's no blinds on that window because eventually it will no longer be a window, so we didn't buy the blinds for it. So it's just a completely open window that maybe I could put a curtain up temporarily, but the sun just comes right in and kind of right to where I'm sitting. So I'm wearing sunscreen just like I would any other day. That's not changing. And so I was testing another sunscreen. You saw it yesterday. I had that white cast from it, but somebody on the Facebook group asked that I do an application of the Klairs Soft Airy UV Essence. This is a product that I just got in yesterday, and they just wanted to see what that finish looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this just to test it for the first time and see. So I've got 3 fingers worth of sunscreen, and we're just gonna go right in with it. My nose has been runny in the mornings because it has been warming up, and we have kind of like a little rivery irrigation ditch type thing next to the house, and so the weeds are starting to come up already, and so in the mornings when I get hit with that, it's not great. So this doesn't really have any discernible scent. It doesn't even have that like typical sunscreen scent. It just smells like a kind of watery cream, a little bit milky. Once again, gonna have to turn to the mirror, sorry everyone. So I do the 3-finger method from Fitty of Fitty Snails. She recommends that that's kind of the exact amount to get a good coat on the skin. And I think it's measured out to be approximately, I think it's 1/4 teaspoon is what you need. So it's just like a good like hack to do a proper measurement. Of course, everyone's hands are different sizes, so that might not be the case for you. You might need to use more or a little bit less, but it's just kind of a good general guide. So this, and keep in mind I have moisturizer and essence and toner and all that stuff on, so anytime my skin is well hydrated, sunscreens take a while to massage in. So you know what, rather than, let's see. I was gonna say, rather than making you watch this, I was just gonna kind of time it and then come back. But we'll do our best with those, and maybe that'll give you an idea of whether or not this is for you. I'm not seeing any white cast. It's absorbing completely clear, which is awesome. So good to finally have a sunscreen that does that. And it's a very, like, it's leaving my skin feeling very hydrated and soft. So this isn't one of those like powdery finish, kind of mattifying necessarily sunscreens. I mean, the finish isn't like wet or oily. It's just kind of dewy. So those of you that don't like those super heavily oil-based sunscreens that leave you looking super shiny, I think you'll like this one, because it's not that slippery, shiny greasiness. It's just like, oh, I just finished my 7 skin method kind of feeling. So, oh wow, that's completely absorbed. I have 0 issue with that. No real discernible scent. I like it. This is awesome. So cool, that's it. That's my whole morning routine. I'm gonna use a bit more of the sunscreen to do my neck, ears, back of neck. And so other than that, then I'm ready to go for the day. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, have any tips for these products, maybe you've used them in a different way, or you would like me to use a particular product as part of my morning routine, and you'd like to see that incorporated, just let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to accommodate it. Thanks, bye.